we kick, we check in with a third member of our team, Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, guys, weather will affect this game today. It is miserable down here on the field. It's about 45 degrees, so it's very cold, but a steady rain has continued to pour. Now, I watched both of the quarterbacks in pregame warm-up. Connor Cook of Michigan State kept trying to keep his hands warm, blowing on his hands. And for Devin Gardner of Michigan, he's got a muff. He keeps trying to keep his hands warm in that muff. But both teams prepared a little differently this week for possible weather. For Michigan, they practiced outside on Tuesday, but they were indoors Wednesday and Thursday. But for the Spartans, they practiced outside every day this week, including Thursday in a light rain. Mark D'Antonio said he wanted the guys to get a feel of the wet ball and get used to what they'd be expecting for today. So keep your eye on the weather, guys. It is yucky.
Try to stay dry, Holly. I know that's impossible. Sold out Spartan Stadium. Brady Hoke in his third season as head coach, 25-8. And Mark D'Antonio is 4-2 against Michigan. And that says a lot in these parts. Legends Division battle. Michigan State won the toss. They deferred. So Devin Gardner and the Michigan offense will have their hands on it first. Kevin Muma set to kick. Already the weather shows up as the ball blows off the tee. He'll reset it. Norfleet and Chesson are back deep for Michigan. You can just feel this one in the air when these two teams get together. And here we go. A yard deep, Norfleet will bring it out. And he's not going to get to the 20-yard line. So Devin Gardner, coming off a 500-plus passing game in his last outing against Indiana. 9 rushing touchdowns. Junior out of Detroit. And as Todd said in the open, a dual threat. A better thrower than Denard Robinson was. Probably nobody's as good a runner as Denard Robinson was, but he's pretty capable.
He's not as shifty, maybe not as straight out fast, but he's bigger and a little bit harder to get on the ground than Denard was.
The Wolverines will work from their own 17-yard line. Play action. And going deep on the first play of the game, and it's caught across the 50. Gallen on a 35-yard pass play.
I think Gallen lost his mouthpiece but didn't lose the football. He got hit hard at the end of the catch. Nice first down play. Isaiah Lewis, the safety, is going to come over and hit Gallen. There goes the mouthpiece, but he held on to the football.
And that's a helmet-to-helmet collision. And somehow he held on at the 48-yard line on the first snap of the ball game. So the Wolverines already in Spartan territory. High backfield this time. And the play action again. And a throwback to Gallen one more time. And Gallen's going to get another first down. 2 plays, 2 Gallens.
Yep.
And another first down for the Wolverines.
Nice job by Chesson, the freshman wide receiver, number 86, getting that first key block on Denard, who's an outstanding corner. Get him out of the way, and 2 plays in a row, you get the ball into the hands of your most dynamic player outside of Gardner on this offense.
Dynamic to the tune of 369 yards receiving against Indiana. Big Ten and school record. From the 37. Toussaint got away from the first man and picked up about 4 as we take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Goes without saying, I guess, Gallen already's made an impact. Funchess is a big play target at both a tight end and a slot receiver. Calhoun and Bulla on the defense. One great at rushing the quarterback, and the other one's just plain football player, third-generation middle linebacker.
And he's the bell cow. He's the guy who gets everybody lined up in the right spot. Fun to watch.
2nd down and 6. All 3 receivers to the right. Gardner wanted to go that way and is flushed and has to throw it up in the stands, and somebody made, well, that's incomplete.
Yeah. As long as he gets outside of the tackle box and as long as the ball goes across the line.
Intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box.
So the Green Bay Packer fan uses the mittens as an excuse for dropping that football.
Well, I don't. The thing I don't like that Devin does sometimes is that pirouette and try to spin out instead of stepping up in the pocket. It's a little bit more effective to do that. Got away with it on that one.
Wolverines 49% on third down conversions this year.
They have Funches in a stack, so they can't double him.
Throw is complete to Gallen again, and another first down, Michigan. Wow, this is the Jeremy Gallen show so far on the opening drive.
Well, and this is a little uncharacteristic. Michigan State normally is a lot of press coverage. They're off on Gallen. That's a lot of cushion for Gallen by Trey Waynes, number 15, and that was an easy throw and catch on third down for Devin Gardner.
So first down at the 22-yard line for the Wolverines on the opening drive.
Extra offensive linemen in now. They've got 6 offensive linemen in there instead of a tight end.
The power is to the left side right now, and that's the way they will run. Toussaint had to get over his own man, and no gain on the play. Nice job by the Spartan defense.
Nice job by Bulla getting some inside penetration. Kind of the default defense for Michigan State when they feel threatened is they want to bring those inside linebackers closer to the line of scrimmage. Bulla busted up the play in the backfield. He absorbed the pulling blocker and slowed down the ball carrier.
Came in with 47 tackles, which is 1 off the team lead. By the time this one's over, he'll probably have the team lead. All Big Ten middle linebacker. Second down and 10. Gardner in trouble, and down he goes. First sack of the ball game. Danicos Allen and Shaleik Calhoun. Calhoun, one of our impact players, and he just made an impact right there.
Well, you're going to see the pressure come. Little twist game on the inside. That frees up Calhoun, and Danicos Allen beat Fitz Toussaint. Toussaint is a very nice tailback, but he's not a big guy, and blitz pickup is going to be an issue for him in this ball game.
What a huge difference that defense just made, because now it's third down and a mile. 8th play of the drive, and the crowd coming to life for the first time.
I think you got to think half the yardage here, Brad, because I think they're out of field goal range. Get half and you're in 4-down territory.
Gardner this time steps up. Now he's going to have to run, and he's going down again. Loss of about a half yard on the play. Darqueze Dennard, the captain of the defense, with a stop.
Now they have to punt and hope that their punter can pin Michigan State in deep. I think that's a decision that Gardner just needs to make a little bit sooner. If he's going to take off, just make that decision a little bit sooner.
The field goal unit out there. Brendan Gibbons, the guy that won the game a year ago, will try a 49-yard attempt. It's Matt Weil, Matt Weil, the long ball kicker. And there's a reason he's the long ball kicker. It's good. Nice job by Michigan to get 3 out of that. Had a nice drive going. Michigan State holds them, though, to 3. As we welcome you back to Dr. Pepper's Road to the Conference Championships. 51-yard drive and 9 plays. Michigan State's defense, though, holds the Wolverines to a 49-yard field goal.
Yeah, interestingly enough, in this matchup last year, Devin Gardner was playing wide receiver.
Right.
Denard Robinson was the starting quarterback. Gardner took over with 5 games left at the quarterback position.
And, of course, Denard is a wide receiver now in the NFL. I alluded to that. You didn't get that part. Part of the Jacksonville Jaguars team that's struggling, to say the least, right now. Matt Weil, who just got the field goal to kick off. Shelton and Ellsworth are back deep. And 5 yards in, R.J. Shelton will take a knee. So that brings out the Michigan State offense for the first time today. And Connor Cook, who was not the quarterback a year ago in this game either. Andrew Maxwell was. But there's his numbers on the year. And
was not the starting quarterback the first game of the year either. Took over in the South Florida game and has played pretty well. 12 touchdown passes in 7 games as a starter. Last week he was almost perfect. 15 for 16.
Yep.
Threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he gives them a little more mobility at the quarterback position. I think that's what kind of won him the job, his ability to extend plays, and they also have some design quarterback runs with him.
And you saw Andrew Maxwell with a headset on the sideline. Here's Cook wanting to throw on first down. Flushed from the pocket. Throw back. Got a wide open fullback in Pendleton, and he's got room to run. Pendleton rumbling down the sideline. Inside the 30 to the 26-yard line on the first play of the ball game. 49 yards.
This was really strange because it was such a delay. He's looking right, and then he's flushed out. This was not a design. This was just picking up an outlet receiver out there who was by himself, the fullback Pendleton. It looked like it could have been a throwback screen by design, but it wasn't, because Connor Cook was looking to his right, flushed out, and realized, hey, I got an outlet over here.
Nothing I like better than the fullback on a reception picking up the longest play of the year for Michigan State. All the way down to the 26-yard line. And now the end around. R.J. Shelton, the freshman. And he's to the 23-yard line. We barely had a chance to look at our impact players going the other way. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Langford, top tailback, and Nick Hill. They'll use both of those guys, and both very capable in the backfield. Jake Ryan, linebacker, back from a knee injury only about 7 months ago, is rehabbed, and he is playing like a wild man right now. And Thomas Gordon, the Michigan defensive coach, is saying that he's going to be key today to stopping the Michigan State ground attack. Cook off play action. And he throws, and it is caught.
No, dropped it.
Incomplete. Kings had his hands on it, couldn't hold it.
McGarrett Kings is their slot receiver, leads the team in receptions and yards, and they want to get him some early touches. They feel he's the most effective guy they have with the ball in his hands. That one he wasn't able to hang on to. But I want to go back to that first play. Again, Connor Cook's ability to extend plays. You know, he bought some extra time. He realized he had an outlet. I think that is, as much as anything, what earned him the starting quarterback job.
First third down situation for the Spartans now. And like Michigan, pretty effective on third down, 48% on the year. Third down and 7. Cook fires into some traffic, incomplete, and it hits Desmond Morgan, the middle linebacker, in the elbow, incomplete.
If a defender has his back to you as a quarterback, you can consider that guy open, but you got to make sure the ball is not underthrown. Desmond Morgan doesn't see the ball, so that's okay to throw it there, but it's too low and too short for the intended receiver, and they come up short.
Desmond Morgan saying, man, that's great pass defense.
Yeah,
didn't know it was coming, but great pass defense.
Well, he was in the right spot. He just had no idea where the ball was.
Geiger in for the field goal attempt to 40 yards to try to tie it up. From the right hash, Geiger's kick is perfect. So with 9:10 remaining in the first quarter, tie ball game between these old-time rivals, 3-3. To Michigan State to open up the ball game. The Spartans just went 52 yards after Michigan went 51 yards. Both ended in field goals. Muma to kick. And this one's going to bounce. Taken on a hop by Dennis Norfleet, a yard deep. And Norfleet, this time, nice return. Out to the 35-yard line. Good field position for the Wolverines after we check in with Robert Flores for the first time today. Robert? Nittany Lions had them right where they want them, Todd.
Overtime. Yep. At home.
First down at the 35. Gardner, play action all day to throw, and fires far side and caught. Devin Funchess, one of our impact players, a pickup of 25.
See, he's a mismatch problem because he's 6'5" and he's going to work against safeties instead of corners. They bring him in motion, they isolate him on the safety, Curtis Drummond, and then he can go up high and make the catch. The Michigan coaches felt like they had a matchup advantage with Funchess. He started the season as a tight end. They realized he's not a good point of attack blocker. After the bye week, they moved him to wideout more exclusively.
And back-to-back 100-yard games against Minnesota and Penn State. This time, Tawan Jones with a sack.
He was coming on a pressure that time and just was in the right place at the right time, right into the backfield. And Gardner pulled that football and had nowhere to go. Again, this Michigan State defense is unique in college football. A lot of people substitute according to offensive personnel. They keep their base 4-3 team out there. They play with 3 linebackers almost all the time against whatever formation they see.
Chesson in motion, settles to the bottom of your screen on 2nd down and 12. Swing pass out to the 40, only about a 2-yard gain. Nikos Allen with a tackle.
And again, you see what makes Michigan State fundamentally sound. They cover up the gaps in the running game. They tackle well in space. If you're going to play with linebackers on the field and bigger bodies, you better be able to play in space with those guys and tackle well.
Number one in just about every category, including leading the country in defense. And they'll be coming here, 3rd down and 10. Gardner wants to throw back, and there's nothing to throw back, and he's going to go down. Calhoun with a big play. 2nd sack of the ball game.
Well, you called it right. They were going to try to throw this back to Fitz Toussaint, and Michigan State read it and defended it. Watch Toussaint and the backfield. They got him covered. So now Gardner has nowhere to go with the football. It was a design throwback screen. Wasn't there. Had to take the sack.
So Weil will punt on 4th and 21. High kick. Kings with a fair catch back inside the 15-yard line. 6:31 remaining first quarter. Spartans on offense when we come back. Thought Heisman Trophy till November. It's November, and the guy on the right is in the mix.
Absolutely in the mix, especially since the ceiling was broken last year by Johnny Manziel for freshmen.
That one coming up tonight. Heated rivalry in the 2nd big game in the ACC in the last 3 weeks. Langford only got about a yard. Cam Gordon on the tackle, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Connor Cook in the shotgun, but they'll keep it on the ground. Langford got around the first guy. His quarterback out in front of him and just got whacked trying to throw a block out there. That's not good. Blake Countess made the tackle.
This Michigan defense up front is not particularly big, but they're athletic. Michigan State's coaches felt like that was going to be a real challenge. That time they got a little bit out of their gap responsibility. Too far inside by Cam Gordon, number 4, and Langford was able to bounce it out for a few yards.
Quentin Washington, the defensive tackle, got a free shot on number 18 in the back at the end of the play. 3rd down, a long 3. Cook, nice pocket for him, crossing route, caught. But only a 1-yard gain for Benny Fowler. And the Spartans will have to give it up.
Michigan had a week off after their last game against Indiana. A little extra time to get ready, to get locked in for this game. And so far defensively, their pass defense has had problems this season. Other than that first play on kind of the fluke play to the fullback, they've been pretty locked in.
Wolverines at 3-0 under Brady Hoke, coming off a bye week. Mike Sadler to punt. Jeremy Gallen, who's already got 3 catches in the ball game, back as the punt returner.
Good punt.
Great punt. He's got a shot to return it though from the 27. Made the first guy miss, not the second. Gets it back to the 32-yard line after a 50-yard punt. 4:39 remaining in the first quarter. Michigan and Michigan State deadlocked at 3.
And Desmond said he didn't just get tripped, he got tackled on that play. Couldn't come down with it.
Well, he won the Heisman Trophy, and the guy wearing his numbers having a good start. Jeremy Gallon wearing number 21. And the guy wearing Tom Harmon's old jersey got to pick up a 3 before Damon Knox made the tackle.
One of the things that Jeremy Gallon has been really good at this year is double moves. He's gotten a lot of his big plays out of double moves, and that's what they were trying to get on that first down play. Gardner didn't have quite enough time to wait for Gallon to clear the secondary and had to take off.
There's his numbers on the year. And as I said, wearing Desmond's number 21 jersey. A couple of Heisman Trophy numbers out there. Gardner the other one. Tom Harmon was the first Heisman winner for Michigan back in 1940. Second down and 7, play action. Gardner flags down. The throw is incomplete, intended for Gallon. But again, looks like we might have a holding call.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a holding, and I think also that was good job by Michigan State baiting Devin Gardner into an audible. They showed blitz and man coverage.
Holding, 65 offense, 10 yards previous spot. Repeat second down.
We're going to miss this guy, Bill Lemonnier, the referee, in his final season and coming off a Golden Whistle Award as the top referee in the country a year ago. He's been around a long time. We've had him many times. One of the great officials in college football history.
I'd say a golden whistle is more coveted than a silver watch then, right?
It absolutely is. And today we're playing for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. We got a lot of things going on here, partner. Second down, 17.
That holding was on Kyle Bosch, a true freshman making his first start of the season.
Gardner in trouble again, going down again. Shalik Calhoun again. Calhoun is having a career in the first quarter.
Well, again, this Michigan State defense is for real. Their numbers are not hype. They stuff the run. They have corners that can cover, and those are coverage sacks. I mean, the pressure is there, but Gardner has nowhere to throw the football, or at least nowhere that he's comfortable throwing. And on this 3rd and long, I would expect a draw or a screen or something safe and punt the football.
Third time they've been in 3rd and 10 or longer, and you saw that graphic earlier. 2/3 of the time, Michigan State puts you in this spot. 3rd and 6 or longer, and it's going to be longer again. Ed Davis with the sack. 4th of the first quarter by Sparty's defense.
That's just a little twist. Davis is going to come from his linebacker position. He's going to come around to the outside and come free. Watch him get around to the outside, use his quickness to get right around the guard, Callis, and get to the quarterback. But 3rd and long, you're going to have a lot of trouble against this Michigan State defense.
Season high in sacks allowed for the Wolverines, and it's pinned them all the way back where Matt Weil is punting from inside his own 5-yard line. Not a good punt. Going to be fielded at the 45 by Kings. Only about a 5-yard return, but great field position right at midfield.
That's
college football continuing tonight on ESPN. Freshman quarterback Matty Mock, the 9th-ranked Tigers, looking to bounce back at home against Butch Jones and the Volunteers. Missouri and Tennessee coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN. There's the standings on the east side of the SEC.
It's a good spot right here for a play-action deep throw for Michigan State. Great field position after the punt.
They should have. Maybe they couldn't have anyway. Frank Clark leads the way and a loss on the play. Clark came in leading Michigan in sacks with 4.5. Tied for 2nd in the Big Ten.
Well, we've talked about Michigan State's defense. Michigan's defense has been good against the run as well, holding opponents to under 100 yards a game. They're 4th in the league. 8th in the country in rush defense.
They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 8 straight games. Here comes the play fake. And the deep ball. Incomplete. Intended for Keith Mumphrey and nowhere near him.
And good pressure that time from Jake Ryan. Again, Jake Ryan had a torn ACL and surgery on March 19th of 2013. Made a remarkable recovery.
Not even 7 months, right?
Yeah. He's played limited snaps their last 2 games, and then they had the bye week, and he has been chomping at the bit to play more snaps, and he is a playmaker. When he's on the field, good things usually happen for the Michigan defense.
One of our impact players. He had a career-high 8 solo tackles in this matchup last year. 3rd down and 12. Just a 3-man rush. Cook has time. Fires. Oh, he had a guy wide open and overshot him. And I mean wide open.
It's the second time he's tried to get the ball to Kings on a crossing route, and both times the ball was slightly overthrown. Kings is going to find a little soft spot right behind the up defender. Cook just not able to give him the football.
Second straight 3 and out for the Spartans. So great field position after forcing the punt. Now they have to kick it away as that drive went -2. You look behind Mike Sadler, the punter. Gallen inside his own 10. Makes the catch there after a 44-yard kick, and we check in with Holly.
Well, early in this game, the Michigan offensive line is really struggling to hold up. Allowed 4 sacks already, guys. They have been making changes, and they've made yet another change today. Bosch is starting. He's a freshman at right guard. They have had now 9 different offensive linemen start games. The only 2 guys who've started every game are the left tackle, Tyler Lewan, and Schofield, the right tackle. But a lot of movement, even the center. 4 games. Miller has started 3 games for Glasgow. Just too much movement, not allowing guys to really gel and play together.
Good point, Holly. Lewan, an All-American. He could have been a millionaire if he'd gone to the NFL last year, but he wanted another season as a Michigan man. Trying to get to the corner is Toussaint, and he only got a couple.
Well, and despite the changes in this offensive line, that they feel good about the combination they have in there right now, and I think they have to try to run the football. They can't just drop back and throw with Devin Gardner against this defense. They have to make Michigan State play honest and play the running game and hope that Toussaint can become a little bit more of a factor in the ball game.
Well, we knew coming in that Michigan had to establish a ground game of some sort to have a chance in the ball game, and so far, -21.
Timeout. Michigan, first team timeout.
Wolverines take a timeout.
Talk about the running game in this rivalry. In the last 43 meetings between these 2 teams, the team that has run for the most yards has won the game 40 times. So, I mean, it's critical for both teams, and Michigan State built a little bit more for that. You know, remember, Michigan is still kind of transitioning from when Rich Rodriguez was the coach, and it was more of a spread, wide-open offense. They're trying to transition into Al Borges just wants a pro-style, more physical running game, and it takes a little time.
2 years ago, Brady Hoke in his first year in this matchup said, hey, we got pushed around.
Yeah.
We got beat up. We got bullied. We're not going to let that happen anymore. And so he is trying to build a power football team. And for Mark D'Antonio, it's always been the case. Pat Darduzzi, great defense, and then run the ball.
Yeah.
Just jam it down your throat, play great defense, and you win a lot of ball games.
Take care of the football. Don't turn it over. Win the turnover battle, and that's a very successful formula for winning football games, particularly in the Big Ten, particularly in the Big Ten in November.
Right, and we're in November. It's not snowing, but we got a lot of rain and have had for about 3 hours. Gardner, play action. Just got rid of it before Bulla got to him, and it's incomplete.
He's late. Devin Gardner right now is not throwing the ball on time. He's holding on to it a little too long, and he's very lucky that that one wasn't intercepted, because normally when you throw late in the middle of the field, something bad happens.
Exactly. The 2 teams are 1 for 7 combined on 3rd downs. Hasn't been a 3rd down conversion day so far here in East Lansing. And again, it's long yardage for the Wolverines. 3rd and 8. Chesson in motion, settles in on the right side. Gardner fires incomplete, intended for Funchess, who laid out but couldn't bring it in.
Good decision, and that time Gardner threw the ball on time. Didn't get the completion, but it looked better. He threw on time. Funchess with a nice route, got inside Wayans, just couldn't come up with the catch.
Well, both teams, the last couple of series, 1-2-3 kick. And it'll be Weil in his own end zone to punt this one away.
But the field position edge certainly with Michigan State. They haven't capitalized yet, but they have the advantage.
And McGarrett Kings will call a fair catch just on his side of the 50. 41-yard punt, no return, but again, great field position. Last time, Michigan State had it at midfield and lost 2 yards. This time, they're right where they had to kick away the last time. Just about what we expected, partner.
Yeah.
Physical football, low-scoring game. If you want to see 100 points, you probably got to go to some other channel.
Yeah, it was 12-10 last year. It's starting out that same way. Both defenses have played well, and they've stepped up and made plays, particularly on third down. So we didn't see Michigan State with a play-action pass on first down in the last series. I bet we see it soon.
This time, getting to the edge, but a flag down is Langford. But
Ball
it's
on the
probably
ground,
coming
too.
back, and the ball is out. Ramo Taylor over there. Michigan saying they've got the football. We have no official signal yet. Could be a double whammy on Michigan State, a holding call and losing the football. But again, no signal yet.
I think there's going to be a holding against the tight end for Michigan State, Josiah Price. I think that was going to be the penalty.
Holding. Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty, previous spot, first down. The loose ball was recovered out of bounds. So it was a forward fumble out of bounds.
All right. So that clears that up. They keep the football. They sort of dodge a bullet there.
Yeah, Josiah Price was the guilty party. Here's the hit on the football. It definitely comes out. And it was laying there for a half a second. Michigan not able to recover it on their sideline.
It's one of those where it seems like forever. The ball rolling and sliding out of bounds was Taylor. So good call by the officials. And Michigan State maintains possession, but they lose a big chunk of yardage. Line of scrimmage back to the 38-yard line where it's first down and 20. Blitz coming. Langford going the other way. Only got about 2 yards before Byer flew over the top to make the stop and end the first quarter in a 3-3 tie. Michigan and Michigan State in East Lansing. This presentation of college football presented by Kay Jewelers will continue after this message and a word from our Michigan State got the ball at the 50-yard line. They lost 2 yards and had to punt. This time they got it at the 48 and they're going the wrong way again.
Yeah, and sooner or later, if you don't capitalize on that kind of field position, it comes back to get you.
Cook, crossing route complete, but hammered immediately as Kings after only a 3-yard gain. Nice job by Wilson, the safety, to make the hit.
The one thing that has hurt this Michigan defense this season and has been part of their inconsistent play has been they've given up too many big plays. Greg Madison, their defensive coordinator, said that's just not the way we play defense in Michigan, and they have not the last couple years under him. But this year, they've given up way too many big plays. But so far in the game today, they've locked it down pretty good.
Michigan State's only first down came on that first play from scrimmage on that throwback to the fullback. They're looking for one here on 3rd and 15. And they've got one. Tony Lippett, first down Spartans.
That's just an outstanding throw. That was tight coverage by Jordan Lewis, number 26. Lewis is right on his hip where you want him to be, but the ball was thrown perfectly by Connor Cook, and there's a third down conversion.
On 3rd and 15, they get 17. And a first down at the Wolverines 40. Langford, the single setback, has been unable to get on track so far today. They'll try him again and again, maybe 2 yards. Nice job by Desmond Morgan. And Jake Ryan in on the stop.
Langford is coming off of 3 consecutive 100-yard games. He's not as big, obviously, as Le'Veon Bell was, former Spartan running back, but he's gotten better here over the last 3 or 4 ball games.
The only guy that's in that category size-wise is a true freshman, Delton Williams, who we have not seen yet today. Here comes an end around. Pendleton, the fullback, got a nice block, but there's just nowhere to run. And Desmond Morgan and Joe Bolden in on the tackle.
You know, it was good to see on that play, too, for Michigan, if you're a Michigan fan, is that Jake Ryan was in pursuit and got cut and flipped up into the air and got right back up off the ground and was okay. Again, coming off that knee injury, those are the kind of plays that make you hold your breath.
You talk about guys like Adrian Peterson doing it, but a linebacker coming back from an ACL and spring ball and playing like he's playing right now is just crazy. 3rd down and 7. And only 1 3rd down conversion, and that was on that last pass by Cook. Crossing route again. Benny Fowler. 1st down again.
Nice job up front by Michigan State. Michigan.
Whoops, sorry, Todd.
Michigan showing a little bit of confusion, some movement. They picked it up, and Connor Cook did a nice job sitting in there and waiting till he found Fowler on the crossing route.
Flag came after the play was over in the secondary. I don't know if we have a taunting or if there was a late hit we missed. We're going to find out here in a second.
There's no foul on the play. The accident block in question are legal.
All right, we'll pick it up.
Well, back-to-back 3rd down conversions by Connor Cook. Accurate throws.
It's funny, he's put some in on some tight windows, and he's had some guys wide open that he's overshot. But on this drive, perfect. 1st down at the 29. 7th play of the Spartan drive. Pass all the way here for Cook, maybe. Throws and got it across the line of scrimmage and almost into the stands again as James Ross was in pursuit.
Good coverage downfield. That's the first time we've seen Michigan State throw on 1st down other than that first play of the game. But Michigan not fooled. Excellent coverage all across the field. And Connor Cook with a good decision to throw the ball away and bring up 2nd and 10.
In the shotgun, Cook this time. Langford's going to flush out of the backfield. And here comes a Michigan blitz, and it's Cook running, but only getting a couple. As we check in with Robert Flores. Robert. Indiana can put up some offense, that's for sure. On 3rd down on this drive, Cook hit Lippett for 17 and Fowler for 8. And they've got another 3rd and long here. 3rd down and 7. Cook, deep sideline of the end zone. Touchdown. No. Dropped. Fowler had it and couldn't hold it. Jordan Lewis covering, but Fowler, the senior, should have had that one.
Well, Lewis is a true freshman, and he slipped on the play, and that enabled Fowler to get some separation. And for the third down in a row, we see Connor Cook put the ball exactly in the right spot. Credit Lewis for not quitting on the play, though. Even though he was beaten, he got his hands in there at the end, and when the ball was bobbled, he was able to knock it free.
It wasn't pretty getting there, that's for sure. Not exactly a spiral, but as you said, right where it had to be. Geiger hit his first field goal. This one will be from 44 yards out. And Michigan State regains the lead. Battle of kicks so far. And so far, it's in Michigan State's favor. Spartans on the field goal, back in front. This is the 61st regular season meeting between these two teams for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. What's the oldest trophy game in FBS. I think I got this. I'm not sure, but I think I have it. We'll let you know a little bit later on. It did change the way the clock is operated in the Big Ten. Home team guys don't get to run it anymore.
No.
Muma, the kick will go to Norfleet, and he will take a knee. Now two former champs, Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth, locked atop the Chase standings. Jeff Gordon is closing in. Only 3 races remain with a championship in history at stake. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series rolls on at Texas tomorrow, 2 o'clock on ESPN. There's outlooks, getting tighter. Couldn't get any tighter at the top between the top 2. Michigan from the 25-yard line. Michigan State now has gone over 9 quarters without allowing a touchdown. Todd talked about 40 of the last 43 meetings. The team that rushes the best wins the game. Our longest run in the game is 6 yards so far. It just got changed by that run. That's about 7.
See, they can't get away from having balance. And Toussaint is too good of a football player to abandon, getting him involved. And it's like banging your head up against a wall trying to run against this Michigan State defense. But you have to keep them honest. You can't let them pin their ears back and just come after your quarterback.
That time Toussaint got 9 actually on that carry. Longest run of the ball game. 2nd down and a yard. Gardner in the shotgun. This time he's going to keep it himself on the counter. And he barely got the first down and then kept his balance and gets out to the 40.
And that right there on that run is what you see the difference between he and Denard Robinson. Not as fast, not as shifty, but harder to get on the ground because he's a bigger, stronger body. Devin Gardner's 6'4", 210 pounds, and they had him wrapped up, but they couldn't get him on the ground. And he's able to get the first down.
Denard on the sideline, smiling.
When does he not smile?
That's true.
What a great personality that guy
It's
has.
always a good day for Denard, First down at the 40. Play fake. Gardner wide open is Gallen, and another first down.
And see, the reason that play was so wide open is because they ran on the last couple plays. You've got to make this defense respect your running game, and then that will open up play action. Good cushion for Gallen. Nice read by Devin Gardner, and back-to-back first downs now, and Michigan at midfield.
Gallen's first catch since that opening drive when he had 3, including the one that continued his streak of 34 straight games now with at least 1 catch.
I still think the matchup guy for them is Funchess in the slot, number 87.
Clapping his hands up there, the top of the screen, the snap's over Gardner's head, and he got back on top of it, but way back at the 30-yard line.
Wow. Graham Glasgow, the center. That one wasn't even close.
Wow. That was liftoff there. 20-yard loss.
And just like that, back-to-back first downs, great field position, wiped out by a mistake by your center.
You got to figure that the ground and the wetness on the football caused that, because that wasn't even close.
Here's where Devin Gardner needs to be smart with the football. It's a 3-point game. It's 2nd and long. Don't take any unnecessary risks with the football.
Try to get part of it back. He'll try to do it with his own legs. Got a blocker in front, but it didn't help. Nice job defensively by Curtis Drummond, the safety. How about that play?
Yeah, Curtis Drummond, football's a game of leverage. And he got lower than the blocker. He got underneath the block and got the tackle as well. Tyler Lewan, All-American tackle. You know what? Big guys fall hard if you get underneath them. And that's what Drummond did. Gets underneath the block and not only disrupts the play, gets the tackle.
Drummond's going to love that one in the film room when he sees it. And it brings up 3rd down and 29. Now you really got to be careful. Gardner in trouble. Down he goes again. 5th sack of the first half.
Not a whole lot of time here. Third down and long, they collapse the pocket. There's nowhere for Gardner to go up the middle. Again, Fitz Toussaint, a tough running back, a make-you-miss guy. Maybe not the toughest guy on pass pro or blitz pickup.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 77 offense. Half the distance to the goal, fourth down.
Lewan with a penalty. And now Michigan's going to be way back kicking from their own end zone almost.
Now the Michigan State coaches have talked to us on a couple of occasions about Taylor Lewan and some of his extracurricular things. Grabbing the face mask, doing some different things. This is just unnecessary. And you don't expect that from a senior. You don't expect that from a captain or an All-American. But he really hurt his team right there.
He's lucky he's still in the ball game after that one. 4th and 48. Not sure how many of those we've had this year. Wiles punt. Back to the 44 is Kings. Made the first couple miss and only got about 4 yards on the return. So again, great field position, courtesy of the defense and a penalty. Michigan State's got it when we come back.
Extra, and we've already seen one of those now against Michigan in the last possession.
On Lewan on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Talking with Brady Hoke this week, he said, you know what? They don't like us, and we really don't like them that much either. It's just that simple. And there's Delton Williams, the freshman running back I talked about, who's got the bigger size in that backfield, 6'1", 220. A little bit earlier, we asked you the Aflac trivia question. 61st meeting between these two for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. What's the oldest trophy game in FBS? I'd say it's Minnesota and Michigan. It is. Little Brown Jug from 1909. Michigan leads that series as they do this one. This one is 68-32 and 5. 5 ties in the all-time series between these two teams. Right now it's a 3-point game. And the running game is not getting any better for either team. Pickup of 1. Frank Clark made the tackle with help from his friends.
Well, even though Michigan has really been fighting the field position battle here in this second quarter, third possession for Michigan State right around the 50-yard line. They got a chance for a stop here on third down.
Remember last year it was 12-10. This one has the makings of being the same with 6.5 to go in the first half. Third down and 5 for Connor Cook. Looking to the sideline to change things here. They've converted a couple times on third down on crossing routes. Off Cook's right arm. It's what he wanted to try here, but he's going the wrong way and throws it out of bounds and didn't get it to the line of scrimmage. Flag flies in.
Well, the home crowd thinks it's going to be a late hit on the quarterback. I think it might be intentional grounding because he wasn't out of the tackle box.
And he didn't get it to the line of scrimmage, I don't think. I think it ended up a couple yards shy.
Good call on third down and long. A little zone blitz by Michigan. They got a guy free. They only rushed 4 guys, but the design of the blitz got to the quarterback.
But the only guy not in that huddle with the officials down there is Holly.
And if she could be, she would be.
Here's the call.
Intentional grounding, offense number 13. Quarterback was still in the pocket, receiver not in the area. Spot foul, loss of down.
Spot foul, doesn't really matter on loss of down. They got to kick it anyway, but here's another look.
So you see it's just a 4-man rush, but the design of the blitz got to Connor Cook, and good idea to get rid of the football, but if you're not outside of the tackle box, there has to be a receiver near the area where you throw it, and that wasn't the case.
Sadler to punt. That's Jeremy Gallen waiting on the other end. And Michigan's field position should improve a little bit here if he can get a return. He has to backpedal to around the 22-yard line with a fair catch. 6 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the first half. We talked about Holly. She's got a special guest named Denard when we come back.
be out there?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, I think this game is like one of the tough games. You got to know you got to come with some effort because everybody's gonna play tough and everybody's gonna be physical in this game.
I'll check back with you after this play. Just a minute.
Loss on the play. Danico Allen with a stop on Toussaint.
Michigan trying to get a little bigger. They bring an extra offensive lineman in.
Back to Holly.
Well, your counterpart, Devin Gardner, he was a wide receiver in this game last year. What does he have to do a little better in this game? I know he's not getting a lot of protection.
Just play his game and just let the game come to him and do what he do. He can make big plays and make it happen today.
For you, you're a wide receiver in the NFL. What's been your biggest transition so far?
Just getting used to it and accepting the role I'm doing now and just playing a little bit of running back, a little bit of receiver, and whenever they put me at Wildcat.
All right, I'm proud of the Michigan man standing through the rain.
Denard Robinson, and now Gardner going deep, man out there, and caught. Still on his feet is Chesson down to the 22-yard line.
Normally, when you throw the ball late in the middle, good things do not happen. But in this case, just as Denard Robinson said, Devin Gardner can make some big things happen. A nice throw. Chesson times his jump.
Isaiah Lewis had his back turned and didn't get there in time.
And when that happens, the guy's open. If the guy's back is turned, the receiver's open.
And Denard Robinson jumping up and down on the sideline for Gardner on the long pass play. Biggest play of the game so far for Michigan, down to the Spartans' 22-yard line. Play action again. Gardner down the middle and incomplete. And Lewis made the play that time on Funchess.
That was good coverage by Lewis. One of the things Michigan State did this week to prepare was they took a freshman defensive end and used him to simulate Funchess. He was a big body. They wanted their secondary to get used to going against a bigger receiver, and that was perfect coverage by a smaller defensive back on a bigger bodied receiver.
Again, as we said earlier, it's been a couple of ball games and then some since the Spartans have given up a touchdown. Michigan threatening. The throw out in the flat is to Funchess with a blocker in front. The blocker was Gallen, though, one of the smallest guys on the field. And Trey Wayans made the tackle.
But for Michigan, the good news on this third down, it's third and manageable. Right now, Michigan 1 of 6 on third down, but their average yards that they've needed has been 15 yards. So this is rare territory for them at 3rd and 2, and you always have the threat of Devin Gardner running the football on third down, particularly in the red zone.
First time that either team has been in the red zone. 3rd down and 2. As Todd said, Gardner a running threat on 3rd down, but nothing doing against the Spartans defense. Danico Allen was the first guy there, and then he got help from his friends and a loss of 8.
Again, just great fundamental defense. Attack the line of scrimmage. Don't lose gap responsibility and hem a guy like Gardner in. Don't give him any crease or any place to run. That's just sound fundamental defense by the best defense in the country statistically.
Allen made the first hit. Marcus Rush stopped the rush and forces a field goal from Brendan Gibbons. 39-yard attempt. Kick on the way and hits the upright and goes through. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah. Well, Gibbons won this game last year
on a 38-yarder.
And had a struggle in their only loss in the 4 overtime game at Penn State. That one hits and falls through.
Tied again at 6. To get anything going today because both defenses are playing lights out.
And really, even though it's even, I give a little bit of an edge to Michigan because they have weathered the storm of field position. Michigan State has had the better of it field position-wise, but the game's tied.
Wiles kick to the 2-yard line. Shelton on the return, and he goes out to the 25. We go out to Robert Flores. Robert. Can things get any worse for the Pelini family if that one holds up? 3:17 remaining here. Tie game at 6. And the Spartans from their own 25-yard line. Play action. Cook got a wide open man over the middle. Tipped and almost intercepted. First it should have been caught by Price.
Yep.
And then Thomas Gordon was close to an interception.
Good play action on first down. They get the linebackers to bite. That's a very catchable pass, even though the football's wet. Josiah Price just doesn't concentrate on it. And then Michigan State at that point, very fortunate to hit to the ground.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 with 3:13 remaining in the quarter.
I think that first down play action is there for Michigan State. Michigan very stout against the run.
Lofts one down the sideline, and this one's caught by Benny Fowler. First down, Spartans.
Beautiful throw. Blake Countess has 4 interceptions on the season, in good position and coverage, but this ball is perfectly thrown over the outside shoulder away from the defender. And Benny Fowler, this time a receiver, concentrates on the ball. Remember, Fowler had the drop in the end zone, would have been a touchdown. Yep. That time he looked it all the way in and got the big catch.
Fowler looks bigger than his 6'1". I think it's because he weighs 212 pounds and he's put together, as you can see. First down at the 48-yard line. Price, the motion man, trying the ground game. One of the better runs right here for Langford. Raymond Taylor stopped him, but he got 7 yards.
It's a very experienced offensive line. Blake Treadwell, the left guard, a senior. Dan France, the right guard, a senior, was a starting tackle. Fanotti, the right tackle, a senior. They've got a youngster at left tackle in Jack Conklin, but a lot of experience on the inside.
2nd down and 3. That's Fowler in motion. High snap. They got it down, though. Draw play to Langford, and it'll be close to the first down, but about a yard shy, I think. Most of the Wolverine team there to meet him defensively. Big 3rd down here with 1:40 remaining in the half. Trying to keep the drive alive, at least get a field goal maybe before halftime. On the season, 48%. Today only 2 for 7, and they were both crossing routes and throws by Cook. You got to figure they're going to load up and try to run this one. They've got every lineman available and every tight end in the state in there right now. Langford got it on 2nd effort. Needed a yard, he got 3. It paid off. They had all the beef in there, and he followed it, broke a tackle, and got the first down.
Nice job getting behind his fullback. We talked about Dan France, one of those seniors. The right guard pulled and led on that power play.
And the drive continues at the 40-yard line of Michigan. Cook scanning the field. Again, throws into coverage. This time it's caught by Price. Whoa, he caught it twice.
Yeah, well, the play earlier, he didn't catch it and it was almost intercepted. This one was almost intercepted, and then it ended up being caught by Price. Watch, looked like an interception. Price able to look it in.
First down at the 28. Cook fires far side, got it to Fowler. He's still in bounds, though. They've got all their timeouts remaining, 41 seconds.
And they're going to use one right now.
Timeout. Michigan State. First team timeout.
So the Spartans already in field goal range here, but they're thinking end zone. That would be
30-second timeout.
the first of the ball game if we do get a touchdown. We are playing football here in East Lansing today with 4 field goals so far. Just exactly what it was a year ago. 12-10 ball game. Same kind of makings, Todd, here Opportunity, though, for Michigan State to take the lead before halftime.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, and really an impressive drive going right now. Connor Cook, I've been impressed with him. I mean, again, this is his first year as the starter. He's made some good throws in tough weather conditions. Offensive line giving him protection, but they are in a golden situation right now to capitalize with a touchdown.
And if they can get that, they would have the halftime lead here at home.
And they will get the ball first. Remember, Michigan State won the toss and deferred, so could be a huge momentum swing in this game, this possession, and then the start of the third quarter with the football.
They took over at their own 25 with 3:22 to go in the quarter. And now the 8th play of the drive, 2nd down and 6, and the throw almost caught by Lippett. And Taylor made the play and broke it up.
Raymond Taylor, number 6, was in coverage, had his back to the quarterback. Again, you tell a quarterback if his back's to you, that guy's open. Just throw it in a place where your guy can catch it. Connor Cook, just a hair off on that one, intended for Lippett.
Just a little bit higher, and that's another first down. As it is, 3rd down and 6 now. So this is a play they need to keep the drive alive, otherwise we're going to see the field goal unit again. Again, the Spartans with 2 timeouts remaining. Play clock down to 5. Cook in the shotgun, crossing route again. He's got a first down throw to Tony Lippett.
Nice job recognizing the blitz. Connor Cook saw it, he changed the play. He got good protection, and against the blitz with man coverage, crossing routes become at a premium.
They don't take a timeout. They do take a snap. Pump fake. Go into the corner of the end zone. Fowler got it. Touchdown. What a drive by the Spartans. And Fowler this time does hold on in the end zone.
Boy, back-to-back outstanding plays by Connor Cook. First beating the blitz on 3rd down, then a hurry-up situation, a design double move, and a beautiful throw to the back corner of the end zone. Connor Cook, outstanding on this touchdown drive.
Huge drive with 23 seconds remaining. The Spartans looking to add point number 13 on the extra point of Geiger, and it's up and good. Can't do much better than that. They've got the lead now with 23 seconds remaining in the half. And it's time for us right now to... And the thing I like about that is to go as you brought them to your partner.
I brought you some too. Share the wealth.
Here's a kick. And no return. So Michigan will have it at the 25-yard line with 23 seconds remaining. A lot of people have always said that you're nuts, and I appreciate the fact that you not only brought the mixed bag for me, but the malted milk balls.
The malted milk balls are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah.
The dark chocolate variety or the milk chocolate. And Tom Fabiano, what a great guy. I'd heard all kinds of things about him from my son, from my wife, and other boys who had been up there. That was my first time meeting him, and his sisters, Paula and Celeste. I mean, just a great family, and really one of those cool places when you walk in, a special place.
To the Fabiano family, I'll let you know that Holly doesn't even like malted milk balls, and she's eaten several already, so that tells you how good they are. Now we got a little chippiness going on again and again. Lawan is involved, and he's going to be lucky if he makes it through this ball game without getting tossed. The umpire is going to walk him out to midfield. Halftime in East Lansing, as you can hear the crowd, they're loving what the Spartans are doing to the Wolverines so far. 13-6. The Spartans up at halftime. Let's go down to Holly.
Well, Coach Antonio, early in this game, I felt like the emotion was flat out here. The guys weren't too chippy, but what has changed in the last quarter, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know. We let the line out of the cage, I guess. You know, I think our guys are emotional. Good job in the second quarter here, driving down at the end, but it's a great football game right now.
Connor Cook seemed to really grow up on that last drive. What was different for him that really allowed him to move the ball like that?
Well, I think Benny made a great catch, and you know, he had a couple of tough throws in there, but you know, it's competitive out here. They've got a good football team, and wet, and there's a lot of elements.
You've had good field position, but you haven't capitalized every time. What do you have to change there?
Well, we got to run the ball more effectively.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Both teams need to do that. Mark D'Antonio halfway to his 5th win in this series against the Wolverines. Coming up, the Capital One halftime report. Halftime is at hand. Michigan State a late touchdown drive. They lead 13-6. This presentation of college football presented by Kay Jewelers will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Get together. Somebody's going to get a bloody nose.
Yeah.
Taylor Lewin's got one. I'm sure there's more than that out there, but kind of battle that we expected. But that late touchdown drive, big for Michigan State.
Well, and if you go back last week in the game at Illinois, Michigan State, it was a 7-3 game. They stopped them on 3rd and 4th and 1 in the second quarter. Then they went on a 15-play, 99-yard drive to score a touchdown right before the end of the half, go up 14-3, scored the first possession of the third quarter. And with this defense, game over.
That's right.
And so this possession defensively for Michigan right now to start the third quarter, I think is huge in this ball game.
And it will be R.J. Shelton back deep, waiting on Matt Wiles' kick. And the third quarter underway. Line drive about a yard deep, and oops, an indecision there, bobbling the football, but he didn't want to take a safety. That would have been, but instead he turns it into about a 37-yard return. Nice return. As we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary in the ball game. If you missed the first half, a defensive battle. 5 sacks in the first half, most by Michigan State this year, the most allowed by Michigan this year. Minus 41 yards on the ground, feels more like the wind chill in January around here. 16 rushing yards allowed by the Michigan defense, but then Connor Cook only missed 1 pass on that last drive and hit Fowler in the corner of the end zone. That's where we are right now at 13-6. And good opening field position. Cook, I don't know if that was a read option play or not, or a bad handoff, but it was a bad play.
I think it was a read option play. They've tried that one other time in the first half, and it didn't gain any yards that time. Little fake, keep by the quarterback, and just good penetration again. Jake Ryan to start the second half for Michigan. Can't emphasize enough how important this possession, this drive, is for the Michigan defense.
Second down and 10. Cook under center this time. Fakes the draw to Langford, now scrambles and throws and completes it. And it's not going to be a first down. In fact, it's going to be kind of strange where they spot this on forward progress. Oh, they're going to give him a pretty good spot. He got hit and actually slid backwards and then stepped out of bounds. But they'll give him the forward progress and a 9-yard gain. So here's a big 3rd and 1 to open up the third. Bring in the extra tight end. Again, Langford has been unable to get anything going on the ground today. They'll try him again, and I think he got enough. If our yellow line is true, it's going to be a first down.
Well, Michigan State got a really good spot and a good break on that second down play. 3rd down and less than a yard, and Langford, not a lot of room to run today, but he got enough for the first down there. Again, here they are in that familiar territory. First down right around midfield. Good opportunity for play action.
They've got Pendleton in there, the fullback, who had the big play on the first play from scrimmage. Deep throw, sideline, just too far in front of Humphrey. Humphrey had a step, Countess.
Little chippiness after the play that time by Dan France, the right guard, a senior, working against Frank Clark, number 57 for Michigan. Again, these, like other interstate rivalries, you know, a lot of these kids not only played against each other here at Michigan and Michigan State, but knew each other in high school, played against each other, in some cases played on the same team or in the same league with each other.
You might have seen in our open today, twin brothers, one wearing a Michigan maize and blue, the other wearing Sparty green. Throw complete to Kings, and Kings is going to get a first down.
Raymond Taylor made a mistake there, I think. He was trying to rip the ball out instead of making a solid tackle, and it ends up being another first down for Michigan State. Watch number 6 go for the ball and try to rip it out instead of wrapping up the tackle.
And gave up the first down at the 43-yard line. So Todd talked about the opening drive, how key it can be. Usually is in a lot of ball games, and especially for the Spartans, who scored late in the second quarter. Good looking drive going here. It continues. Gleichert on the catch and a pickup of 18.
Really nice job by Connor Cook again. They go play action, and watch, he's going to look left on the play action. And that's going to cause the safety to go with his eyes. Then he turns, sets his feet, and throws back across the other side to the seldom used tight end. Excellent design. Good use of the eyes by Connor Cooks, and then a nice throw to the big tight end.
Gleichert, who's an Ann Arbor, Michigan native, with a big play down to the 25-yard line. There he is in motion. Langford holding on for dear life as James Ross, the outside linebacker, but a pickup of 7. Three minutes used to open up the third quarter. And in the red zone for the Spartans. Sparty has got the beard working today because the Paul Bunyan Trophy's on the line. Second down and 3, empty backfield. 8th play of the drive, and now we got motion on Michael Dennis. The tight end came out of his stance.
94 offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Michael Dennis is listed as a tight end, but he's really an offensive lineman by trade. 6'7", 299-pound junior, and they bring him in there as strictly a blocking tight end, although they do have him in on some passing downs, but they've not thrown the ball at him yet.
I want to see that happen. Again, they've got the strong side of the left on second down and 8. Here comes the blitz. Cook's going to go down. Frank Clark and Willie Henry take him to the turf, and another loss on the play. So just when Michigan State had it going in a positive direction, they're going the wrong way.
That's a big-time play by Frank Clark. Kept leverage, did a good job of standing up the block of Dennis, had leverage on the football and forced Cook to kind of slow down and look back inside, and he had nowhere to run.
So a couple plays ago it was second down and short. Now it's third down and 11.
I think if you're Michigan, you rush 3 here and drop into coverage. Try to stop the crossing route.
Well, they're going to bring some extra guys, and the crossing route is there, but not a first down. Lippett with the catch, and Jared Wilson with the tackle. That'll force a field goal.
Well, good solid tackle. The crossing routes have been good for Michigan State. Connor Cook has done a nice job of reading blitz and getting the ball rid of it quickly.
So Geiger comes out to attempt another field goal, but sometimes Mark D'Antonio in these situations says, you know what, let's fake it.
I think the way his defense played in that first half, I would expect him to kick this one.
35-yard attempt. And he's got another one. As Todd said, 10-point lead when you got the #1 defense in the country. Not too bad with 9:54 to go third quarter. Sure how they don't see it. Guess they don't have our replay. He's lucky he's still playing in the game, though, after some of the stuff that's going on today. Boom and a kick. Norfleet from 2 yards into the end zone. Doesn't get to the 20-yard line. Got out to about the 18, and we go down to Holly.
Well, guys, you talked about Tyler Lewan, and I did ask Brady Hoke at the half, what did you say to him in the locker room? He said, I did talk to him. I said, anything you do that hurts our team is a problem. You know, he did get the one unsportsmanlike penalty. They want him to play within himself. but also more importantly, the offensive line has to protect their quarterback, Devin Gardner, better. Brady Hoke said we had some problems with some of our slide protections. They've done a few different things we didn't expect. We think they've got that fixed, but protection has to be better.
Yeah, they gave up 5 sacks in that first half. Here's Gardner in a pistol on first down. Quick throw over the middle and complete to Funchess and a pickup of 12.
Ball kind of floated a little bit, but the play action was just enough to hold these veteran experienced linebackers of Bulla and Denikos Allen in order for Gardner to make the completion.
Michigan State defense gone a long time since they've given up a touchdown.
Well, after that first early couple possessions, Jeremy Gallen very quiet in this ball game. They got to get him involved again, number 21.
Again, gaining yards on the ground, almost impossible. Toussaint got 2. Toussaint had 52 yards on 10 carries in the ball game, a Michigan win last year, and he's only got 15 on 6 carries here in this one.
This is where they have to be productive. 2nd down and 8. They've got to get positive yardage here, so if they do get the 3rd down, it's manageable distance.
Michigan State thinking about a blitz. Gardner, the slant intended for Gallen, incomplete. And it's 3rd down and long.
See, now you play right back into the hands of this Spartan defense. 3rd down and long. They bring in their 30 package, so they have 3 down linemen. And they'll bring some kind of linebacker pressure in addition to those 3 down guys.
Might be that guy right there, Allen. Michigan's only 1 for 7 on their 3rd downs. And there comes the blitz from Allen. Gardner throws and it's tipped and incomplete. Curtis Drummond made the play in the secondary.
That was a good read by Curtis Drummond. Watch number 27. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback. And as soon as he sees Gardner lock outside, he goes underneath and knocks the ball away intended for Gallen.
So Michigan State's going to get the ball back. After scoring first here in the 3rd quarter, they're going to get another opportunity with a 10-point lead as Weil will punt. Garrett Kings waits back at the 25-yard line. Again, beautiful punt. Fair catch as Kings has to back all the way up to the 17-yard line. 8:32 remaining, 3rd quarter. Spartans at home by 10. Two-time All-American Percy Snow went into the Ring of Fame today here. College Football Hall of Famer this year. First guy ever to win the Butkus and Lombardi Award in the same year. Remember doing games when he played, It seemed like he always had 20 tackles.
Former Canton McKinley Bulldog from my hometown.
Langford, about what everybody's gotten today on the ground, 2 yards.
Well, the other thing now, the rain has stopped. So the field is in great condition. The ball shouldn't be as slippery and as difficult to throw and catch as maybe it was in the first half.
Tell those folks.
Yeah. Well, it's still cold. It's just not wet anymore.
Not like they were going to take the parkas off, though, of the rain gear. 2nd down and 8.
They have their big boy coats on.
They do. I just put mine on, as a matter of fact. Connor Cook lofts one near sideline. Nice play on the football. Might have gotten away with a push-off, but Lippett with the catch.
Well, Lippett and Countess were working on each other. It was single coverage, press man-to-man. They both pushed, and Lippett got away with the last push.
It ain't a penalty unless they call it. And a 1st down at the 40-yard line.
Well, now for Cook, that's 10 of his last 12 that he's hit. He started the game 5 for 12, and now he's hit 10 of his last 12.
Speaking of 10, they've had 3 10-play scoring drives today, Michigan State, so they've been consistent. Only one of those was a touchdown drive, and that was in the final 25 seconds of the 2nd quarter. And they got something working here. Langford Big run for Langford. His best of the day. A 17-yard pickup.
Watch the right tackle, Foy Finote, lead this play. Here he is right here. Watch him pull out and then get a nice seal block on the end. That was what got him to the corner. Lippett, who just made the catch, got a block. And a productive run play for Langford.
Langford's best of the day gets him a first down at the 42-yard line. And they go back to a 2 tight end set. Jamal Lyles, the second, a redshirt freshman in there. And a whistle. Timeout taken.
Timeout. Michigan State. First team timeout.
Not sure if they had the wrong personnel in there or if they had too much personnel in there. Timeout, 6:58 in the third. To Dr. Pepper's road to the conference championships. Winner of this one would be the leader in the clubhouse right now in the Legends division for the Big Ten title. And right now it's Michigan State in front, 16-6, and in Michigan territory. High snap, Cook bobbles it, throws it, and incomplete. Should have been caught by Price. And coming out of a timeout, that was not quite the play they were looking for.
I mentioned that with the drier weather, the ball shouldn't be as slippery, but we had some bobbles and drops and bops.
And then he actually got rid of it in a good pass that wasn't hauled in by his tight end. So it's second down and 10. And Price goes out. Fullback Pendleton comes back in. Again, they've got the extra tight end, the big guy, Michael Dennis, all 300 pounds of him on the left side. And they're going to run a draw that way, but it got nothing. Cam Gordon, nice play by the linebacker to make the stop. Gordon, another one of the defensive captains, senior out of Detroit.
Well, in the game within the game, and third down is one of those games, Michigan State has certainly had the better of Michigan on third down in this ball game.
They've loved those crossing routes on third down today. That's what they've been making their living offensively. Third down and 10 here. Lob to Fowler. Couldn't one-hand it. He was open. And I mean, he was open.
Well, again, I've said this on a number of games with us this year, partner. When you get a guy wide open, you throw it right on him. You don't lead him. You don't try to make the perfect throw. You throw it right at his numbers so that he can secure the catch. Because there aren't very many opportunities in a game when you get a guy running wide open like that.
And you saw there was not a Michigan defender within 5 yards of him. And Cook knows it. And that's punting time for Sadler. They're going to let this one go, and it's going to be Michigan State down and get around the 7-yard line. The long snapper got down there, Tabor Pepper, to down it.
Well, you know, Devin Gardner's thrown the ball okay when he's had time to throw it. But Michigan State has made life fairly miserable when he's dropped back to throw. 5 sacks in that first half. He completed a decent number of passes, again, when he had time. And that's the burden right now on Taylor Lewan, the starting tackle, and the other senior, Michael Schofield. They've got to get this protection shored up and give their quarterback more opportunity.
751 yards against Indiana, their last outing. Now they're not playing Indiana right now. They're playing the #1 defense in the country. And again, a yard gain for Toussaint. And Max Bulla with the tackle. Max, a third-generation Spartan. His brother Riley's on his team too. That whole family's been bleeding green for a long time.
Yeah. His grandfather, Henry Bulla, is a coach and a Canton, Ohio native. Former coach and teammate of my dad. A lot of football roots in that family.
It sure is. Second down and 9. Quick throw by Gardner, incomplete, intended for Funchess. And he had that one out of his hand in a hurry, maybe too quick.
And this has just been a repeated theme for the Michigan offense. Second down, they need to make a play, to give themselves a chance on third, and they don't do it, and now they're 3rd and 9.5 deep in their own territory against the #1 defense in the country.
And they're going to hear the fans down in that end zone as well. Gardner rolling into his own end zone to throw. Just got rid of it. And in and out of the hands of Funchess again. Incomplete.
Pat Narduzzi told us yesterday he thinks his 2 corners, Denard and Waynes, are the best combination in the country. Waynes is a younger guy, but watch him close on the ball and fight to get it out on the bigger receiver Funchess. This is a good throw. Should have been a catch and a first down, but Trey Waynes made the play.
And be careful now if you're the Michigan punter. First of all, you've got to field the snap cleanly, and then you got to get it out of there 8 yards deep in your own end zone. Weil with a short kick. Bounces at about the 37. It's not even going to make midfield. And great field position again for the Spartans. Well, a couple of former champs, Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth, all locked atop the chase standings. And look who's closing, Jeff Gordon. 3 races remain with a championship in history at stake. NASCAR Sprint Cup, there's where the standings look. It rolls on in Texas tomorrow at 2 o'clock on ESPN.
Now, you mentioned Mark D'Antonio with a penchant sometimes to go for fake kicks. I wouldn't be surprised to see a trick play in this possession. Maybe even this play here, a reverse, a double pass, something to try to really put the knife in this Michigan defense.
Nick Hill hasn't spent much time in the backfield. He's the tailback right now. And again, a bobbled snap, but it'll be Hill for a couple.
Tell you what, I've been impressed with this Michigan defense too. Michigan State, they're well documented. We've talked about their defense, but this Michigan run defense has been outstanding tonight. They've had their backs against the wall most of the game in terms of field position.
Right.
They've given up a couple contested throws down the field, but in terms of run defense, they've been very solid.
Michigan State's only got 45 yards on the ground. Talked about Michigan's trouble running the ball. The Spartans are having the same issue. Cook, plenty of time, running out of time. And lofts one, almost caught by Hill, incomplete. And now they find themselves in 3rd and long. This would be wasted field position if they don't get this first down, because they can't try a field goal from this spot. Four wideouts for Connor Cook. 3 to his left on 3rd down and 8. Michigan's going to bring the blitz. Cook incomplete. Threw that one at the feet of Fowler. And it's 4th down. There goes great field position up in smoke.
One of the things Michigan State did on this possession, they changed centers. So they've got a new center in there, number 63, Travis Jackson. Michigan recognized that and brought pressure right up the middle on that 3rd down play. Jackson in. Jack Allen, the starting center, moved over to right guard. So it must have been a problem with Dan France, the starting right guard.
Sadler forced to punt. Gallen will field this one right around the 10-yard line. So again, not good field position, but the good news for Michigan, their defense forces another kick, gives it back to their offense as we check in with Holly.
Michigan State defense have been able to bottle up Devin Gardner. Pat Narduzzi, their defensive coordinator, said, you know, I learned from a game a couple years ago where Braxton Miller beat us with his feet. They lost 17-16. So he vowed that this week in practice they would be live all week on the scout team quarterback. Poor Damian Terry, number 6. He had to be out there, pretend to be Devin Gardner. They brought him to the ground, live tackling all week, but Narduzzi said, hey, he's got a bye week next week. He can get healthy after this.
Wolverines from the 10-yard line.
Well, just to follow up on that game that Holly referenced, Braxton Miller last year here in East Lansing, Ohio State won.
Offside, contact, number 93, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
The Buckeyes won 17-16. Braxton Miller, 136 yards rushing on 23 carries. And Pat Narduzzi told us that I won't make that mistake again. Of course, he's hoping that they're going to face Braxton Miller potentially in the Big Ten championship game, too.
They'd like another crack at him, that's for sure. Gardner, plenty of time. Deep ball down the middle, incomplete, intended for Gallen. And it was Drummond back there covering from his safety position. So you're talking about the field position ledge. These guys have started in this half their own 19, their own 7, and now their own 10. They're at the 15 because of the penalty, but
and it just wears on you.
Yeah.
You know what happens is it just wears you down because as a play caller, you can't be quite as aggressive as you want when your defense comes back on the field. They feel like their back's against the wall all the time. It really wears you out.
Homa, the fullback, in there in the eye. On 2nd and 5, play action. Gardner rips one out there. Gallen in and out of his hands. Is that a fumble? I don't know if he caught it or not.
Yeah, I think they're saying it's a fumble and then recovered by Michigan. Fumbled backwards.
Schofield, I think, covered it.
Well, they haven't given us any call yet. Let's wait and see. Yep. They were close to a first down. It would have been 3rd and 1 if he just goes down to the ground. He fumbles it backwards. And now it's 3rd and longer yardage again.
Luckily recovered by Michigan. Bad news is it's 3rd down and 7.
The previous play is under review. The ruling on the field was a catch, fumble, and recovery Michigan.
So Tom Herbert, our replay official, and Bill Lemonnier will discuss this one. Again, Gallen, both feet on the ground, and then Denard ripping it out of there.
That's the thing I love about these corners for Michigan State is they just keep fighting all the way through the end of the play. You know, they're on an island so much in this defense. One-on-one coverage, a lot of press coverage, and they just fight through the throw. I don't know if he had
Following the video review, the play stands as called. 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything they could overturn that with.
But again, the problem for Michigan, 2nd down, they don't get a productive play, and they put themselves in a 3rd down and long situation, and they just have had very little success on 3rd down with long yardage needed against Michigan State.
Well, they've had 10 of them today, Todd, and only one was shorter than 3rd and 6.
And they didn't make that one either.
And this time, 3rd and 7. Stacked receiver group down to the bottom of your screen. Gardner in trouble, throwing as he goes down. It was Calhoun that had him wrapped up again.
But this is a bad scheme. You have Fitz Toussaint working against their best pass rusher. That's not smart. That's a mismatch. Watch Toussaint. He's got to block Calhoun, who's the team leader in sacks and quarterback pressures. You're asking your tailback to do too much in that situation.
Almost had another sack. 2nd straight 3 and out. Courtesy of Calhoun there and Gardner. And they have to punt from their own goal line again. Last time, Michigan State wasted the field position. This kick is high and short.
Just wears you out.
Does take a good bounce, though, for the Wolverines down around the 47-yard line. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. With just under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. There hasn't been any room to run. It doesn't matter which side you go or if you go up the middle.
Yeah, and that big gold arrow is deceiving. It looks like that's a lot of yards. It's really not. It's just, by comparison, a lot.
What have we had? Minus 1.9 per carry. A rivalry where you're going to get dirty. And as you saw Langford from behind him, he's going down and getting dirtier. As he loses a yard, brings up 2nd down and long. Let's check in with Robert Flores. Robert. Here we've got 2.5 remaining in the third, and Michigan State by 10 at home in their own territory at the 46-yard line, second down 11. Cook throws intercepted. Raymond Taylor. Taylor going the other way. Big turnover for the Wolverines defense.
Taylor was playing zone coverage. He was a corner reading the quarterback, and he left his area and dropped under to find the ball. Watch number 6. Read the quarterback and drop underneath the throw. Excellent play by Raymond Taylor, and the first turnover of the game gives Michigan their first great field position to start a drive.
His third interception of the season has it at the 41-yard line of Michigan State. This will be the 11th play of the half for Michigan. They have 15 total yards. But as Todd said, a great opportunity at the Spartan 41. Gardner keeps it, reverses his field. He's not going to get away, I don't think. Nope.
Unbelievable.
Isaiah Lewis and a loss of 5.
You can't backpedal and you can't dance against this defense. They get to you. Isaiah Lewis is going to be the guy that pursues. I mean, if you don't have it where you want to go, you just got to concede the play and go straight ahead and try to get 1 or 2. The minute you start to go backwards and give ground, then you put yourself in a bad situation.
That's not a sack. That's a loss of 5 on a running play by the quarterback. And here you are at second down and 15 again. Can't get anything positive going on first down, as Todd's been telling you. And it's not changing here. Here comes a blitz. Gardner turns around and down he goes again.
Well, again, it's inside pressure. Max Bulla. It's Fitz Toussaint, a smaller back trying to pick up a big linebacker. Watch Bulla run right through Fitz Toussaint. He's the first guy, and then the rest of the pressure comes. Devin Gardner has no chance on a play like that when pressure comes right up the middle.
Bulla blew it up. Denikos Allen finished it off. Oh, it's getting loud in here now. Third and 25. The noise got to everybody, including the quarterback.
First team timeout. 30 seconds.
Michigan has to take a timeout with 28 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Sometimes you judge how good a defense is by how they respond to a sudden change situation. An interception puts your team in a sudden change. Not only an interception, but the first one of the game, the first turnover, and it puts you in your own territory to play defense, and they come right out and stuff and send this offense reeling backwards on consecutive plays.
They'd started to drive after the interception at the Spartan 41, and after those 2 plays, they're back at their own 45 with a third and 25.
Think about this now. We're talking about Michigan State's defense. In the last 2 years, there's only been 3 schools that have been ranked in the top 10 in total defense, rushing defense, and scoring defense. Michigan State, Alabama, and Florida State. That's pretty good company.
It is.
These guys have been doing it on a consistent basis.
They lead the Big Ten in every defensive category there is. They're showing us why right now. Third and 25.
6 offensive linemen in to try to buy some protection.
It didn't buy him anything. And again, scuffle at the end of the plays. Gardner's on the bottom of the pile again. And a drive that started at the Michigan State 41 is now back at the 38-yard line.
And again, one of the biggest problems is that Fitz Toussaint is having a hard time picking up these blitzing linebackers of Michigan State.
End of 3. Michigan State's defense is swarming on the Wolverines right now. This presentation of college football presented by Kay Jewelers will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Has 7 and 7 sacks as well on Gardner today. And here's a big punt coming up from Matt Weil.
I think it's the most important play of the game right now for Michigan. They've got to try to flip field position here in the fourth quarter, pin them down inside the 10.
Unable to, field it at the 20, and it's coming back the other way. So much for flipping the field. Nice return. And Michigan State with a 10-point lead and the football. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play brought to you by Allstate. The only touchdown of the day so far. The nice pump fake by Cook and the throw to the corner to Fowler was perfect. And that ended basically the second quarter. There's about 23 seconds left after that, but that was the late scoring drive that's given them the lead that they have right now. 5 catches for Fowler, including that touchdown. And again, tough run of a couple yards by Langford.
The reason I made that point about that last punt, which did not go the way Michigan needed it to go, is there's no way Michigan's offense is going to drive the ball for a score. I don't even think they'll drive for a field goal against Michigan State. Michigan State has them, they just have them figured out. They've got problems in the inside of their pass protection, so they have to create a short field situation somehow. They tried with the turnover, that didn't work. They got to try with their kicking game as well.
Here's Spartans now, extra linemen and extra tight ends, but they'll throw out of this formation out to the fullback Pendleton. And that's his second big reception of the day. The first one, the first play of the ball game, and now a 13-yard pickup on that one.
Well, the first play of the game, he was an outlet. This time he was a go-to guy. A design play, get it to the fullback quickly on play action. They don't use their fullbacks very much other than to block. That's why he was wide open.
He only had 4 catches coming into the day. He's got 2 huge ones here in this rivalry against the Wolverines.
And here we go again. Michigan State with the field position advantage.
They stay with that heavy set, and they'll throw out of it again. And it's complete out to Lippett. And a flag flies in at the end. Right in front of the Michigan coach.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 57, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's not going to help the Michigan cause.
Frank Clark getting there late. There's the face mask, clear.
Yeah.
Easy call for the official. Well, I think you go for it right here if you're Michigan State. You got this defense reeling right here. You got a chance to go right for the end zone.
Again, no wide receivers in this set. They do have a tight end in motion. They're going to follow that beef on that side, and a great play by guess who? Jake Ryan.
Jake Ryan, number 47 at the top of the screen. Here he is. Watch him just get to the point of attack, maintain leverage, keep that outside shoulder free, and then get to the ball carrier and get him to the ground.
He's a football player.
Yep. Well, he's got good instincts. You know, he felt that play coming. He knew he couldn't get hooked on the block, had to keep that outside arm free, made the play.
Now they're in a set that looks like they may try to put it in the air. 2nd down and 12 with the wideouts back in there. And here's the ball deep on the sideline, but the pattern's broken off. Nobody home back there.
I just think Michigan State has wasted some opportunities with field position to throw on first down. See, now they're in 3rd and long again, and everybody in the stadium knows they're probably going to throw.
Yeah.
I think because of the field position they've had situations where they could have gotten some bigger chunk plays off of play action on first down, and they chose to run.
Third down and 12. They got to get to the 22-yard line for a first down. Michigan thinking about a blitz, and they will bring one. Cook's in trouble, and he got it complete anyway to Fowler. Fowler dragging Wolverines down to the 10-yard line. That looked like disaster, and it ended up being a 25-yard pass play.
And what touch Connor Cook puts on the ball under duress. Watch him get it right over the linebacker. Desmond Morgan, number 48, dropped back in coverage, and he had to loft it over his hand to get it to his receiver. Great touch on the crossing route to Fowler.
And it's first and goal for the Spartans at the Michigan 9. From the 9-yard line, Langford close to the 5. Cam Gordon made the stop. Boy, Michigan State gets a touchdown here. I don't know how Michigan's going to ever come back. Not against the defense the Spartans have shown us today.
I'll tell you what, if they get a field goal here,
yeah,
I'm not so sure Michigan can come back. And the clock now is something that is a friend of Michigan State as well. You limit the opportunity time-wise for Michigan.
There'll be less than 11 and a half remaining when they snap it here. Second and goal at the 6. Langford found a crease, got down to the 1. Greg Mattison's defense, he's hoping, can come up with a stop here at the 1-yard line.
Good tough run by Langford. Waited, was patient, saw a crease, tried to get the ball to the end zone, got it to the 1.
Remember, Cook on that 25-yard pass play is what set him up with a first and goal. Now third and goal at the 1-yard line.
And again, Cook has some run ability also from the quarterback position.
Here he comes. And did he make it? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Michigan State. That might be the dagger right there, but there's still 10 and a half to play.
One of the things that earned him the job, his ability to run as well. This is an option. He's got Langford to pitch if he needs him. He covers up the football with both hands and fights his way to the end zone.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
His first rushing touchdown of the year is under review right now.
Remember, the ball has to cross the plane. He was kind of going in back first. Got a little help from Finotti at the end of the play.
He's just realizing now, you saw him going to put his helmet down, and then he grabbed it again as if to say, maybe I got to go back in there.
Looks like second effort might have got the ball and his midsection across the goal line.
Yeah. I think it'd be hard to overturn that one. And they're playing Let It Be in the PA system. Oh. Bill Lemonnier, the call.
Following the video review, play stands as called. Touchdown.
Michael Geiger in for the point after. And is blocked. Well, it's going to stay at 22-6. Michigan State 16 unanswered points now. Back to Dr. Pepper's road to the conference championship. Michigan State playing like a team that could win the Big Ten. the way they're playing today?
Well, they've been outstanding, and everything is advertised on defense. And really on second down is when they've caused the most problems for Michigan. You know how tough Michigan State is on third down, so you have to have productive plays on second down to give yourself a chance. And play after play on second down, Michigan, in many cases, has gone backwards. And what that's created is a situation where they are 1 for 11 on third down, and the average yard needed on third down, 13 yards. You can't win football games in that kind of a situation.
No way. Kevin Muma to kick. That's Dennis Northfleet. Back deep. Short kick. Going to be fielded at the 10-yard line by Chesson. Trying to cut it to the outside, but they bring him down as he crossed the 25 out to the 27-yard line. And we check in with Holly.
Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner has been pummeled all day, and finally it boiled up. After that last series, he came over to the sideline and he started out calmly getting on his offensive line, and it quickly got more emotional. He was yelling at the guys, "We've got to play with some pride. We've got to keep playing." He was begging, exhorting, yelling at his guys to help give him some protection and give him a chance. It's got to start now.
And this half, they've run 13 plays for -6 yards. And that's a positive of about 4 to Funchess. And time is of the essence, as you can see.
Time is of the essence, and the run game is pretty much non-existent now for Michigan. So Michigan State is going to play pass and just not give up anything over their head.
They're going to try to go over their head with this ball, and Gallen can't get to it. Felt like he was held. He had one arm out there trying to make the catch on Darqueze Dennard.
Gallen is quick. He does a nice job of eluding the pressure at the line of scrimmage, but Dennard gets right back in his hip pocket.
Pulled his hip pocket out.
Yeah.
Third down and 6 again. Blitz. Dennard trying to run out of it. Heading for the first down. I don't know if he got there. He put the brakes on, I think thinking that he had crossed the first down and didn't want to take another hit.
Well, he got on his offensive lineman on the sideline, but he needs to be a little bit more courageous on this run. I mean, his team needs a first down here. He's got to go straight ahead and get the first down. Don't think about sliding. Don't think about finding the sideline. Find the first down.
Well, he could find it here. Looks like he got it on 4th down and short. Got a flag down in the secondary.
Well, where that flag comes, it looks like there might be too many people on the field.
Yeah. Well, all 3 officials back there threw a flag at the same time. And after the committee meeting, we'll find out.
Illegal substitution defense, 12 men. 5-yard penalty, previous spot. Results, first down.
Well, they would have gotten the first down, I think, on the sneak, but they get a free 5 as it is. And now they're right back at the line waiting with 9:28 to go. Remember, they used one of their timeouts earlier in the half. And the rain is starting to come down again. Gardner, quarterback draw. Didn't draw much except a whole bunch of Spartans.
No, but a tougher run. I mean, that time he tucked the ball and he kept moving straight ahead. Of course, Michigan State very content to give up a run of 5 or 6 yards. Slowly getting up off the pile.
And the clock's going to wind down under 9 before the next play. Gallen or Funchess, somebody's got to come up with a chunk play pretty soon. Gardner goes complete this one to Chesson. That's a first down.
Nice throw by Gardner, moving the pocket a little bit. If you're having trouble protecting in normal type situations, move the pocket a little bit. Still got to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Wanted to go deep, ran out of time, and again, another tough run before he runs into Danicos Allen and Denzel Drone. Oh, he's going to be in the cold tub tomorrow or tonight. Probably tonight back in Ann Arbor. He is, as Holly said, taking a beating today, both in the pocket and as a runner. 2nd down and 7 in the pistol set. Play action, wanted to throw over the middle, fires late and high, incomplete.
Boy, he had Funchess late. He looked for him early, and he wasn't there. But if he would have gone back to him, I think he had him late. This was supposed to be a quick throw. Watch him look at Funchess. He's not there, but if he goes again, he has him for a touchdown.
Michigan has missed on its last 11 third down conversions. And they convert that one when they desperately needed it. Second throw to Chesson on this drive. Pick up a 12.
Nice job by the offensive line. Picked up the pressure, had a clean pocket for Gardner, and he was able to set his feet and step into the throw.
You saw Brady Hoke on the sideline tone, come on, let's go. We're wasting clock. Ninth play of the drive. And first down at the 28 of Michigan State. This one's complete to Funchess, and he got about 9 more. Trailing by 16. In a perfect world, they need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. And we're approaching the 7-minute mark. Well, Toussaint, not sure what play. I guess they have to run once in a while.
And you know, in college football, the clock stops while they reset the chain. So you get the first down. Now you got to get lined up and have a play ready to go as soon as they mark the ball ready for play. There has to be a sense of urgency about you, but it's okay to run for a first down in that situation.
At the 15 of Michigan State. Michigan with a desperation drive. Gardner dropped the ball on the play fake, and Bullough was right there to make sure he couldn't pick it up. And now his lineman that he was talking to on the sideline continuing to help him up after he takes another hit.
Well, he tried to look up a little quick. He knew pressure was coming and just lost the handle on the football. Bumped it on Toussaint.
30 straight possessions. Michigan State's gone without giving up a touchdown. Trying not to give up one here. 2nd and 15. Throw is intercepted. They won't give up one there either. Darqueze Dennard.
This was supposed to be a back shoulder throw. It's man-to-man coverage, bump and run. And so you throw this short to the back shoulder. The problem was he threw it to the front shoulder, and Dennard, one of the best cornerbacks in the country, made the interception.
A Thorpe semifinalist as the nation's top defensive back, and a guy that this week refused to say the word Michigan. He just refused Michigan a touchdown right there.
Beautifully simple.
Darqueze Dennard with his 3rd interception of the season, the 9th of his Michigan State career, has kept the Wolverines out of the end zone with 6:23 remaining. And the offense takes over deep in their own territory. Both tight ends move over to the right side. Langford, the tailback in the eye, is about 4 yards in his own end zone, and he's coming out with it. And a good run to give him some extra room.
I want to go back and show you something on the interception. Now, when you're working against a corner like Dennard up at the top, here they are. When you take a shot at a fade against a corner like this, you have to throw that ball out here to the back shoulder and give your guy a chance to make the play coming back to the football. That ball was thrown out in front. Dennard read it, made the interception, and that's why you see why this defense is so good. They have corners that don't mind playing on an island, play after play after play.
2nd down and 4, using as much clock as they can offensively. Langford, cut back run. He's going to get a first down and stay in bounds. As we check in with Robert Flores. Wow, Navy trying to beat Pitt and Notre Dame back-to-back weeks. You might see a new Michigan quarterback if they get the ball back. Langford runs into James Ross after a short gain. 5 minutes remaining as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner was injured on that last interception, guys. He's come over to the sideline, and Paul Schmidt, the athletic trainer, spent a long time looking at him, still huddled over him right now. Looked like they were looking at something with his head or neck area. They had him opening his mouth, seeing if his neck was okay. Their freshman quarterback, Shane Morris, has gotten up. He got on the bike and cycled. He's throwing some passes. He's had the headsets on all game. We'll see if he has to go in here.
It didn't look good. He is warming up right now, the left-hander. And Gardner did not look good going to the sideline, obviously.
I think that's an accumulation of hits.
Yeah.
In a ball game where from start to finish, he's taken some shots.
Langford tried to stay in bounds that time, pushed out by Thomas Gordon. Well, partner, we have seen Alabama pitch 2 shutouts this year, so we know their defense is good.
Yeah.
This one came in #1 in the country, and you always kind of want to see if it passes the eye test. It's passing mine.
It is. I mean, they're legit. And it's, again, it starts with their corners. Because they can play so much bump and run man coverage, it frees them up to do some stuff on the inside.
We got a timeout here, 4-6. That's the fewest in a game since 1962. And the deepest penetration they had into Michigan State territory was swiped away by Darqueze Dennard's interception. Blitz coming on 3rd and long. There's a little trick play, and it's a big one. R.J. Shelton. Shelton across midfield before they can finally track him down. That might be the icing on the cake right there.
First trick play of the game on a 3rd down situation, perfectly executed. See the lead blocker, Jack Allen, the center out there leading the way. Excellent call by Dave Warner, the offensive coordinator, and a huge 3rd down conversion.
And now the clock will work its way under 4 minutes. 35-yard run. And time running out on Michigan to try to somehow get back in the ball game. Langford got about 3. They're more concerned now with the clock than any kind of offense. College football continues tonight on ESPN. Matty Mock and the 9th-ranked Tigers looking to bounce back. They've got to beat the Volunteers if they're going to stay in control of their destiny to earn a spot in the SEC championship game. Presented by Hampton Hotels. That's a matchup tonight at 7 on ESPN, Tennessee and Missouri. Then another one of those football games between Michigan and Michigan State. We said it in the open. Somebody's going to have a nosebleed. That's not the only one, I'm sure, that's occurring down there on the field right now. Take the play clock down to 4 seconds. Give it to Langford again. Straight ahead, power running. Got it to the 40 where it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
You know, you mentioned the similarity to Alabama, who we've seen, and how good their defense is. You know, the other similarity of this offense, power running, good game management, you know, with some big-time throws when they need it by the quarterback. I've been impressed with Connor Cook in this ball game as well.
3rd down and 3 here with 2:51 left in Michigan, out of timeouts. And Michigan State just took one of their remaining timeouts.
30-second timeout.
They took over this ball on that interception by Dennard at their own 3. And they've used 6:23 off the clock up until this timeout. And with the timeout, let's check in with Robert Flores. All right, Robert, thanks. We welcome you back to college football presented by Kay Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. There's not going to be any kisses on the Michigan sideline, but Michigan State might get a few tonight here in East Lansing. 2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the ball game, and Michigan out of timeouts. So this would be the death knell on a third down if they pick this one up. Langford taking it to the corner. He's got the first down and a whole bunch more. Cuts back inside the 20. He's gone. Touchdown. Ball game, Michigan State. The team that rushes the best wins the series. 40-yard touchdown, longest of the season for Langford. And that'll ice it for the Spartans. In fact, a career-long run for number 33. Geiger's extra point is good.
Well, we've called the fullback Trevon Pendleton's name a few times today. First play of the game, watch him here lead on one of the best players on the Michigan defense. He's going to get a great block on Jake Ryan. That gets the corner for his tailback. And a tired Michigan defense watches Jeremy Langford run into the end zone.
A 97-yard drive in 8 plays, capped by that little move and a 40-yard touchdown for Langford.
I mentioned that BCS Bowl. Michigan State has been close in a few years. 2010, there was a 3-way tie in the Big Ten. They lost the tiebreaker. Wisconsin went to the Rose Bowl. 2011, they lost a 3-point game to Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game and missed out. They're hoping they get another shot here at the end of this season.
Kick taken at the 4 by Norfleet. They need a big play to try to get back in the game. Norfleet gets it out across the 30-yard line. Undefeated ACC teams getting together on ABC Saturday Night Football tonight. Classic rivalry. 7th-ranked Hurricanes, number 3 Seminoles. Saturday Night Football presented by Windows. The Canes and the Noles tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC. There's the undefeated teams. Florida State and Miami are 2 of them, so something's got to give in the ACC tonight. Ohio State's already 9-0. Alabama and Oregon are off. Michigan State is set to go to 8-1. Norfleet hurt on that kick return. There's a flag down as well.
And things set up pretty well for Michigan State. I mean, they get a week off after this game and then go to Nebraska.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 7 on the kicking team. Number 10 on the receiving team. Those penalties will cancel. First down.
2:36 remaining. And unsportsmanlike conduct by both teams. And there's the reason why.
Those are a couple guys with clean uniforms, so some backup guys on a late kickoff getting mixed up there in the end.
Morris in at quarterback for the injured Devin Gardner. Rolling left with the left-handed throwing incomplete, intended for Funchess.
Coming into the game, Michigan State's defense was ranked number 1 in the country. Rushing defense, total defense, only 215 yards a game. They didn't hurt themselves again today. Last week they held Illinois to 128 yards. Today, 162 yards for Michigan. Unbelievable.
And they've only allowed 42 total yards in the second half. 42 total yards in the second half. It's unbelievable.
And again, they play out of their base 4-3 the majority of the time. They don't substitute a lot of nickel or dime, and they cover everything out of their base defense.
This one is complete to Funchess. And wow, I don't know if I'd do that right on the Michigan State sideline, but it's like we were going to have another skirmish at the end of the play. Again, Michigan out of timeouts. And down to 2:26. They don't pick up this third down, they might not see the football again. In trouble, throwing on the run. They'll have one more play now. Second pass that was dropped in that row in the ballgame.
Well, Michigan has had a really, really tough time converting third down. Let's see if they have a little better luck on fourth down on this play.
3 out of 4 on the year on fourth down conversions. And there's their quarterback injured on the sideline. We don't know the extent of the injury, but he was in a lot of pain when he walked over to the bench the last time he left the field. Might be the last chance here for Michigan. Morris has time, running out of time, and trips and gets to the line of scrimmage, and Michigan State takes over. And now the fans in the stands know the inevitable is at hand. Todd talked about that 2010 team. This is the second best start for Michigan State under Mark D'Antonio. They were 8-0 in 2010, ended up winning a school record 11 ball games. They're about to have one of their best starts in history again. They're a couple minutes away from being 8-1 and 5-0 in the Legends division of the Big Ten.
As I mentioned, they get a week off after this. Then they have back-to-back road games at Nebraska and at Northwestern. And they also play at home against Minnesota. So their schedule sets up in a good way for them.
And now there's no way to stop it. The clock, that is, for Michigan.
And we saw Ohio State last week, and they were impressive.
Yep.
But after watching Michigan State, if those two teams do end up meeting in the Big Ten championship, I like Michigan State's defense and their ability to line up and play against Ohio State. I think that could be a heck of a football game.
Mark D'Antonio is going to be 5-2 against Michigan, a team that today was held to their fewest rushing yards in history. And again, Connor Cook will take a knee. The celebration's about set to begin for the sophomore quarterback. Played very well today. Had the touchdown pass late in the second quarter. And then Michigan State really never looked back after that. Work our way under a minute. Work the play clock all the way down to the final ticks. This is going to be the third straight game Michigan State has not allowed a touchdown. That's pretty incredible in itself.
Every offense they've played this year, they have held well under their season average.
Timeout, Michigan State. Third and final team timeout.
Michigan State takes the timeout. Gives them an extra 30 seconds to savor what's going to happen here. And he might put in Andrew Maxwell for the last snap. Guy that started in this game last year, one that they lost 12-10.
You know, we asked Mark D'Antonio, how hard was that for you to choose a sophomore over a fifth-year senior as the quarterback? And he said it was really difficult, but Andrew Maxwell, a class kid, has handled it great. And this is just kind of saying thank you from Mark D'Antonio right now.
He wants him to have one more snap in the Michigan State series, and he'll get it right here. Senior out of Midland, Michigan. It's actually 4th down and 15. Well, now they change it to 3rd down. It is 3rd down at 15. Sorry, guys, in the truck. My mistake. They had 4th on the field out here. And there's the final snap. And the celebration begins. the 106th meeting, and the Paul Bunyan Trophy that goes with it is coming back to East Lansing. Disappointment for the number 21 team in the country that won't be number 21 anymore after they're beaten soundly 29-6 as we check in with Holly.
Well, Coach, yards were hard to come by in this game. Where was it that you felt your offense finally broke things open?
Well, I thought we had that big drive. You know, Cook hit a couple big plays in that drive in the third quarter there, and obviously we got the big run at the end of the game there.
How do you describe what's happening with your defense? Third straight game they haven't allowed a touchdown.
Yeah, we just keep playing better and better. I think that's a credit to our staff, but our players understand as well.
You know this was a big rivalry game, but what did you ask your players to have their eye on, more importantly than the rivalry?
You know, to be honest with you, I kept telling them all week, keep the line in the cage. You know, don't give them anything. We got to peak at game time. And when game time comes, we got to let the line out of the cage, and that's what we did.
You also wanted them to keep their eye on the bigger picture. How do you feel like they did that today?
Well, we're 8-1, got a week off to enjoy this, so we'll worry about that next. We got 24, maybe a 48-hour rule on this one.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Go Green.
Well, the Green indeed. They let the Tiger out of the cage, and they growled to a 29-6 victory over their arch nemesis from Ann Arbor. 29-6 the final score. Don't forget, number 7 Miami, number 3 Florida State coming up tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC. That's going to wrap it up from East Lansing. For Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, I'm Brad Nessler as we send it to the studio and John Saunders. Spartans over the Wolverines.